She's got to go save our man right now, because if she doesn't, I will go absolutely feral. I don't want to look it up. I don't want that in my search history. No, thank you. That was yuckies. Excuse me, sir? Rude. There was a body in that table, for sure. And he's Irish, and he has an Irish accent, and he's calling her love. Apparently, that's a thing in these books, is like cannibalism. Hi, babes. I'm starting to film another video, another reading vlog for a series. It's Butcher and Blackbird, and the other one is Leather and Lark. So we're starting with Butcher and Blackbird, and I already started. I'm 45 pages into it, and I'm loving every single second of it. Like, I know I say that all the time. I know I say it all the time, but I'm literally loving everything about it. It's so, so good. There's Sloane, who's Blackbird, and then there's, what's his name? Rowan. Rowan is Butcher. They're both serial killers. Sloane, her serial killer name is the Orb Weaver, but Rowan calls her Blackbird. And then Rowan is, I think, the Boston Butcher, because he's from Boston, and I guess he butchers. They met when Sloane was, she was like stuck. It was after one of her kills, she got stuck in a cell, and Rowan showed up, and he found her, and he was like, "What are you doing in here with a dead body?" She's like, "I killed him, and then I got stuck. You gonna let me out?" And then he let her out, and they went and they got lunch together, and then he was like, "You know what? Let's play a game. Let's play a game together. Let's have a friendly little competition." They have to go to a random location, both of them, and they have to find someone who's like, I don't know, a serial killer. They're serial killers who kill serial killers, so they have to find another serial killer or someone that is just shady as hell. Whoever wins the competition basically gets to kill this other serial killer that no one really knows about. I think it's called the Phantom. So now we are currently in the state. They just got there. They literally just got there. They're in West Virginia, and they're in the same hotel. They're a room apart. We knew from the jump that Rowan was interested, and Sloane was kind of interested too, but Rowan was more interested, and it was so funny. I actually underlined it, because when they first met, Sloane introduced herself. So she was like, wait, please. Sloane, my name is Sloane, the Orb Weaver. Okay? And this part made me actually chuckle. Like, no, I was laughing. I was full on. It wasn't even a giggle. It wasn't a chuckle. Like, I was laughing. Rowan goes up to her and starts shaking her hand, and he goes, "Oh my god, I knew it. I fucking knew they had it wrong. It had to be a woman. The Orb Weaver, such a cool name. The intricate fishing line, the fucking eyeballs, amazing. I'm such a huge fan." And she was just like, okay, stop shaking my hand and let me out of the cell. So I can already tell he's down bad. And she's like into him, but she doesn't know in what way she's into him. She's like, I don't know, he just puts me at ease. I'm like, girl, you literally like him. What is happening? Like, just admit it. But maybe it's difficult because she's like a serial killer and maybe a little messed up in the brain. So far, it's so good. I'm very nervous about how descriptive they're gonna get, because it got a little descriptive in the beginning, and I was like, ooh, I don't need to know that much. Either way, I'm gonna stomach it. I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna power through those descriptive parts. There was something about ice cream though, because I read the trigger warnings mainly because I never read the trigger warnings. Most of the trigger warnings for other books aren't included in the book, or maybe they are and I just like pass them. But I knew there were trigger warnings in this book, and I read them and I started dying laughing. So let me share them with you. Eyeballs and eye sockets, amateur surgery, skin ornaments, chainsaws, axes, knives, scalpels, a lot of sharp objects. Accidental cannibalism. I'm a little worried about that. Questionable use of a mummified corpse. Lobotomized manservant. Ill-advised use of kitchen implements. The author said, "I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream." I don't know what that means. Detailed sex scenes. Oh, you thought it was done? No, there's another page. Yeah. References to parental neglect and child abuse. Parental loss. Not depicted. References to child sexual assault. not in detail. It's a book about serial killers, so there's some generally messed up murder and chaos. What do you mean? What do you mean cookies and cream ice cream? What do you mean about accidental cannibalism? How is that a thing? Like, I'm already drawn in, I'm already interested. It's making me laugh out loud, which I knew people said that it would, but I just like wasn't expecting it because it's a book about serial killers. I wasn't expecting to be giggling and like laughing, but their banter and their humor is so funny to me. So I'm really enjoying this. I already know I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna go and I will update you guys in a little bit. Please ignore the disgusting state that I'm in right now. I'm ready for bed. My skincare's done. I got some pimple patches on. I'm breaking out like no other right now. Anyways, I think I mentioned that they were there and staying at the hotel. And they're trying to figure out who the guy is. And Sloane, like, goes out one night and is like, bye, don't wait up for me. And then she gets back and Rowan hears her in her room. But then he hears a man. Not in the room with her, but close enough. And turns out there was a man in the wall watching her. He smashed through that wall and the man dipped. Basically, the man in the wall was the man who runs the inn. And they went and like were literally like running to get to him. They were like racing each other. The guy got in his car and Rowan jumped on the hood of the car and was like banging the windshield, and then the guy hit the car on a tree and Sloane was like, "Are you crazy?" And he grabbed her neck and like pushed her back and was like, "Mine." And she's like, "Okay, he's yours." And I'm like, that's not what he meant, ma'am. Oh my god. First of all, the side comments of these characters are so funny because the guy was wearing a tie. This isn't really like necessary information, but I just thought it was so funny. Rowan grabbed the tie thinking it was like an actual tie and gonna choke him, and it comes off and he looks at the guy, he goes, "A fucking clip-on? Are you 12? And I'm like, no, that's so funny. He said two things. One, the lady you were watching in the wall, you were watching her and then you were gonna plan on killing her, right? And he was like, "No, I swear that's not what I was doing." And then Rowan was like, "Secondly, the woman that you were watching in the wall, she's mine." Excuse me, sir? She's mine. You're making me blush. Stop that. That's so... I wonder what's gonna happen. I just need to update you guys because he's currently in the process of like ending the guy. So I don't know what's gonna happen when they go back to the hotel. Because Sloane thought when he said mine, he meant the guy, but he really meant her. And I really want him to make a move because I think I need that to happen. They are so cute. So she ended up going to Boston to see him and then went to his restaurant. And then she got up to leave and he like saw her and was like, "Why are you leaving? What the fuck?" And she was like, "I'm busy. I have work. Gotta go." She didn't have work. She just went there to see him, but she lied. And then 3 weeks later, he showed up in her area, but she didn't see him. But he, like, delivered food to her door every day. And he was like, "No, but since you have ingredients for it, okay." And she was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm doing what I should have done when you were back in Boston. We're gonna cook together." Stop. Like, that is so cute. It's the effort for me. It's the effort that the man is putting in. Like, she'll say, "I hate you," and he's like, "You'll love me someday." No, I already love you. Literally, shut up. They have their next competition soon, I think. So I think that's what the next chapters are going to be about, is like their next competition. Like, I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it. I'm literally on page 100. It's so good. I didn't even tell you about the last competition. Oh my god. I don't know where they went, but what I do know is that they went to the guy's house, like their victim's house. They were having dinner with him, and Sloane figured it out before Rowan did. Oh my god, it was yucky. That was yucky. So I'm not gonna talk about the yucky part, but basically the guy drugged Rowan. He tried to drug Sloane, but Sloane didn't drink any of the, like, drinks that he gave her, so she wasn't drugged. but Rowan was. And then something yucky happened, and then she killed him. There was more gross stuff, but then she said, like, you owe me a favor because I just saved you. Rowan was like, well, I won the first round. Can I get a favor? And she was like, sure, whatever you want. And he was like, really? He asked her to go to the Best of Boston convention gala thing with him. And she did. And it's so funny. It's so funny. They go to this hotel for the gala. And I know exactly what that hotel is. Oh my god, wait. They don't specify where they're staying most of the time. Like, they'll give, like, a small hint about where they're staying. But when they were there, when she was in Boston, they literally talked about a hotel that I worked at. And I was like, oh, no way, that's so cool. Like, that was cool. I liked that. I really did. But at the same time, I was like, did I just read that correctly? So I texted Sam and I was like, no way. They went to the gala and she was there and she's like in love with him now. Like, she has admitted it, not to him, but like to herself. She's accepting it. She's like, I like him. I want something with him. He was about to kiss her and he got a phone call. I was like, oh, rude. And then they went to their current victim that I just read. The victim hurt Sloane. She's got a logo on her forehead right now from his boot. But he kicked her in the face and then he put her in a cellar. And Rowan, you know, he always calls her Blackbird. Oh my god. Like, I am fangirling, giggling, kicking my feet right now because of this man. Rowan texted her and was like, Sloane, like, where are you right now? And she was like, I'm in a cellar at the right side of the house. And he was like, I'm on my way, love. I'm on my way, love. Yeah, Rowan got to the victim and he was like, that's for hurting my girl. I'm your girl? That's like so sweet of you to say. Oh my god. And then he just keeps calling her love. He keeps calling her love. It's so cute. Like, and he's Irish and he has an Irish accent and he's calling her love. She's like crying and he's taking care of her. They kissed after he saved her from the cellar. They haven't done anything else. But they're holding hands right now because he put his hand on her, like, thigh, but there was a blanket over it because he doesn't want to scare her off. He's really scared of scaring her off. And so he put his hand on her thigh. And then she's holding his hand right now. Like, she started holding his hand, and I was like, oh, I love every single second of it. I'm having a blast. This is amazing. You are all the best things to me, Sloane. No matter how many bruises are in your heart or on your skin. I need a moment. Hey people, I thought I would update on Butcher and Blackbird. They got to Finn. Finn said, you know, she has to rest, no strenuous activity, no sports, stuff like that. And at Finn's place, they both had to stay in the guest room, you know, one bed trope, but it wasn't even the one bed trope because he was taking care of her. So he went and ran her a bath, and I love bath scenes. I don't know why. Like, that sounded really weird. I love the scenes where the guy's taking care of the girl, whether she's had like a panic attack or in this case, she hurt herself and then he needed to take care of her. I love the bath scenes. I love it. It just makes me happy. It makes me happy. They did that and they did a little more. They did a lot more than a little more. Honestly, it was so good. The spice scenes in this book are unmatched. Love them. I will say the piercing thing, not my vibe. His tattoo on his back of the raven drawing that she left him. He got that tattooed on him and she was like, why? And he's like, well, for one, I can't take the original with me. It might get ruined. As if it's like the most priceless piece of art out there. And he framed it and he put it in the kitchen at the restaurant so that he can see it whenever he's cooking. You can see it every day. She asked why he got it and he was like, you asked me why I got it. And she said, right, he said, any guesses? She said, like me? He goes, because I like you? Rowan cackles in incredulous laugh. Like you? Seriously? Christ, Sloane. You are fucking brilliant, but also the most willfully oblivious person I have ever met. Do you really think I just like you? When I framed a drawing you left me on a scrap of paper you tore from a notebook, the one I hung in the kitchen so I can look at it every day and think of you, do you think I just like you when I tattoo it on my skin? I play this fucking game every year and tear my heart out watching you walk away, only to do it all over again, and I like you. I would kill for you, and I have. I would do it again, every damn day. I'd turn myself inside out for you. I would die for you. I don't just like you, Sloane, and you fucking know it. The next day, Finn had asked her, do you have anyone at home to take care of you? And Butcher was like, yeah, me. She was like, you're coming to my house? And he was like, no, I'm taking you home to Boston. I think what I'm realizing is, like, maybe it's not about, like, the dark parts of these books, like the romance books. It's more about the effort that the men in the romance put in, because everyone's like, oh, you like dark romance, so you would like that stuff? And I'm like, no, actually no. But I do like the effort, because, like, the effort is there. It's there. It's so clear. And I will let you guys know what happens. Bye. Okay, so I got to the part of the book where the problem happens, apparently. I was hoping that there wouldn't be a miscommunication, that there would be something else, and I was, like, partially correct. David has been weird from the jump. David has been weird. David has been strange since they found him in that house with that other serial killer. He's been a weird man. He's been a weird guy. I think David just took Rowan hostage because Rowan was at 3 and Coach, and then a gun to his head. There was a guy behind him, and he was like, you're gonna tell Sloane to leave. And if you don't, I'm gonna kill her, and you're gonna watch. So then Rowan, like, basically told Sloane that she needed to leave. She needed to go back to Raleigh. He's not giving her any hints at all that, like, this is a setup, that this is fake. He's not giving her a single hint. And then she went back to his house to get her stuff and was crying. And then she realized he dropped hints. The dates used for the gala were wrong. I guess Sloane looked at the camera for the kitchen at the restaurant at 3 and Coach, and she saw something, but we didn't see what she saw. So I don't know what happened to Rowan. I don't know what state the man is in, but all I know is that she's got to go save our man right now, because if she doesn't, I will go absolutely feral. Thank you. Oh, I also wanted to add that there have been, like, a lot of problems that have popped up since David started working at 3 and Coach, but David can't talk. David seems like this little, like, innocent guy. When we first met him, she said something about a lobotomy. Sloane said, like, David got a lobotomy or something. I don't know medical terms, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what a lobotomy is, but I think it has something to do with the brain. So I honestly thought he was, like, kind of not fully there, you know? So now I'm like, maybe he was just pretending to not be fully there. And he was the one who was causing all the problems in the restaurant. No, I haven't moved at all. Actually, that's a lie. I made dinner. And now I'm in bed again, reading. I have Nala right here. Say hi. And Percy George, he's passed out at my feet. Yeah, he's snoring. I started Leather and Lark. I'm on chapter, like, 4. With Butcher and Blackbird, the interest in, like, the characters' interest in each other started immediately. Like, as soon as they met, they were interested. For this one, it's different. They were clearly interested in chapter 3 for, like, maybe 5 minutes. And then they realized that they actually hated each other from a previous encounter because he locked her in a trunk after he helped her clean up one of her murders. I don't know, like, I just want them to like each other. I just want to get into it quickly. So I feel like I have to just continue reading, and hopefully it'll get better, even though I know he hates her and she hates him. And that's annoying. Like, I'm so annoyed by that, because at least, like, please let there be something. Like, please let there be some interest, some flirtation. I will say, in chapter 3, before he realized who she was and the fact that he actually hated her, His flirting was so good. I would have fallen for that. You would never see me again. I would move away with him. I would be his bride. Like, that was so, it was good. It was such good flirting. I loved it. But then they realized that they actually hated each other, and there was still tension. Don't get me wrong, there was still tension. But I was like, oh, you guys just shared like a magical kiss. Can we just forget we hate each other for 10 minutes and like, I don't know, just love each other? From the last book, I didn't know Lark was a serial killer. I didn't know until I read the trigger warnings again for this book. I should probably read those to you because the last time I read the trigger warnings, so I should probably read them to you again. But anyways, that's besides the point. Like, I knew Lachlan was a hitman. I didn't know Lark was a serial killer. I thought she was just like a singer, a celebrity, if you will. But no, she's a serial killer. She's kind of like she got the same kind of like idea as Sloane, except Sloane kills other serial killers. She kills predators. So, like, go her, you slay, girlfriend. But I didn't know that, so it's interesting hearing that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, kind of. Like, the beginning of Butcher and Blackbird got me so good that, like, the beginning of this book is just like, nah, it's not matching. It's not the equivalent to that book. So, I don't really know, but I'm gonna continue reading. I'm having a good time, and it's only like 9 o'clock, so I can read for a little while, but I'm gonna do that, and I will update you guys when something important happens. Not much of an update since yesterday, but we just found out that Lark's family might be going after Lachlan and his family because they think that he's targeting them and their company and like the people they care about, so they're like, we should go after him. Maybe. They don't know for sure if it's him or not. And Lark's aunt just dropped a little idea, a little seed in Lark's brain. So if Lark got married to Lachlan to protect Rowan, basically encompassing her protecting Sloane, then the family wouldn't go after Lachlan, so they wouldn't go after the brothers, so they wouldn't hurt Sloane. So I'm interested to see how this goes down. They ended up getting married. He was kind of like immediately in as soon as she said that it was to protect Rowan. You know how I said like it's cool that there's two serial killers that are best friends, like Sloane and Lark? I thought Sloane knew. Sloane doesn't know that Lark has a fun little hobby. Yeah, no one knows. And the day of the wedding, she decided that she was going to make a table out of epoxy. And one of the trigger warnings was epoxy resin. So when she got back from the wedding, she went to go like, I don't know, sand her table. I didn't know you had to sand epoxy. I didn't know that you had to sand it. I didn't know you had to do anything. I thought it was just like, you pour it in the mold and then it's good. But she was sanding it, and he didn't know that there was a body in that table when he came downstairs to talk to her. And there was a body in that table for sure. And I think there was like a part of the table where the body was showing because Sloane was sanding, and then she was like, oh my god, and then she froze and she put her hand over it, and Lachlan went over to her and was like, hey, like, are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? She's like, no, I'm good. I need to put a really big star right here, so can you go get me the mold? And he was like, yeah, but it smells really bad. Like, what's that smell? And I'm like, bro, it's a dead person. She just sanded a part of his body. I'm excited, but I'm hoping that, like, something romantic happens soon, you know? Like, the last book was so good with the romance. It started immediately. He was pining for her from the beginning, and in this one, they're not pining after each other. Most of the time, Lark is looking at him like she wants to kill him. But he's looking at her like he wants to eat her, so, not in, like, a weird way, because apparently that's a thing in these books, is, like, cannibalism. I don't know, but there was a trigger warning for cannibalism in this book as well, so. The last book, it was accidental. This one is auto cannibalism. I don't know the difference. I don't want to look it up. I don't want that in my search history. No, thank you. And it also said that pizza and beer and smoothies was gonna be like a content warning and it might ruin it for you, like the ice cream did in the last book, but the pizza scene didn't really ruin it for me. But the other one also didn't ruin ice cream for me. So maybe I'm just weird. Obviously the scene was weird, but when I go to get ice cream from the store, I know it's in it. I know it's not in it. I don't know what's in it, but I know it's not in it. The ingredient that was in it in the book. I will say I like how fast they get into the main plot points in these books, but I need more romance, like yesterday. I need more romance immediately. Last time I checked in, it was going really slow and I literally just opened it for the day and they're starting to like kind of be cutesy. He's like helping her look up and like look into the murders around her family, and he just picked her up from her grandmother's assisted living home. They finally talked about the night that they met when he put her in the trunk. And he said, the way I acted, the way I took my shitty attitude out on you, putting you in the trunk, it wasn't right. I'm sorry, Lark. I know what I did it was cruel. I wish I could take it back. I wish I could take a lot of things back, but I can't. I can only tell you I'm sorry, and I'm not going to ask you to forgive me, because I want to earn it. And when I do, you can let me know. He wants to earn her forgiveness. I'm obsessed with this man. I've been obsessed with him since the first book, you know, because he just like walked in and was like tattooed, dark hair, broody, you know, my type, essentially. And now he's being like all sweet and cutesy, and I'm like, I literally love him. I love him so much. And I need her to love him. I need like the romance to pick up. This is extremely slow burn. Like, we're maybe halfway through the book, maybe a little over halfway. Hold hands or something, kiss or something, like give me something. I'm gonna go read. Bye. He brought her to a sleep retreat for the weekend because she has insomnia and problems sleeping. So he brought her to a sleep retreat and said like, they're gonna help you with your insomnia. It's gonna get better. Like, you can leave if you want. Call me. I'll come pick you up. I'll take care of everything while you're gone. I'll go visit your aunt. I'll take your dog for a walk. I'll take your dog to visit her. Like, I'll take care of everything. Just rest. It's so thoughtful. No, I'm so happy. That was so cute. I love that. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely, we're getting somewhere. I'm scared that something might happen while she's at this sleep retreat, but I'm hoping not. Like, please, if anything's gonna happen, have them fall in love. That's all I want, is for them to fall in love. Immediately. Now. Tomorrow. Yesterday. Since Lark came into my life, I felt excited every single day. It started when I followed Lark onto the balcony the night of Rowan's restaurant opening, and though it had a vicious edge at first, it gradually transformed. I realize now that I'm excited every single time I see her. The need to push her away has become a desire to pull her closer. I don't just want to hear her laugh, I need to earn it. Every time I gain a little ground, I want more. I want to break out of the shade and back into her light. Without even realizing it, I become addicted to it, to her. Lark's needs are my priority. Things are happening. What things are happening? Obviously she was at the retreat. She was at the sleep retreat, and then she called him at like 11 at night. He was like, hey, do you want to go somewhere with me? And she's like, you're here? So he took her to this guy's house, and he brought her a toolbox. And in the toolbox, he brought, like, glitter and, like, the stuff that she likes. And she was like, oh my god, like, that's so sweet. She ends up going back to the sleep retreat, and she calls him, like, later that night. She asked him if he could read to her so she could fall asleep. And he did. He picked out the book, like, Constantine. Or maybe it's, like, the script of Constantine. I don't know. But he picked it out because that's one of her favorite movies, and he was reading it to her, and she was like, are you reading me the script of Constantine right now? And he was like, maybe. Like, is that what this is? And then he was talking about how he watched it after she had told him, like, you need to watch it. He was like, well, I watched it for the first time about 2 weeks ago. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 since then. And she was like, no, really, how many times? And he said 12. Also, I got Percy George a t-shirt. I got him a t-shirt from the pet store, and it's a little small on him. Look at it. It says, ready or not, here I come. It's like a Halloween t-shirt, and it looks so cute. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? He's like, I hate this. He looks adorable. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. and I'm gonna go back to reading because it's getting good and I really, really like it. She was about to kiss him. And he, like, backed away. He was like, no, not until I know you forgive me. Otherwise, this won't work. And I want it to work. I finished it. Basically, there was a hostage situation at the end of the book. Lachlan goes to get Lark. Turns out she's in, like, this big oven, like a convention oven. I don't know. It's like a really big oven. And Lachlan has to choose between saving Rowan and Sloane, who are currently driving on 93. There was a bomb under their car. Or he could save Lark from the oven. Sloane had chose for him. She chose to save the other two. Lachlan looked at her and said, don't you ever, ever do that to me again. And she said, getting kidnapped? I'm not planning on do-overs, Batman. And he looked at her and he shakes his head. He said, no, forcing me to not choose you. You were brave as hell, but you are my person, Lark. I can't do this without you. Let's talk about the steam. The steam from Butcher and Blackbird, I loved it. Honestly, it was refreshing because I don't feel like I've read any scenes like that. Like, obviously, you can read steamy scenes and, like, you know, most of the time they're the same. They're, like, the same scenes, they're the same, like, they're formatted the same way. But the author added in new things that I had never really, like, heard of. The steam in Leather and Lark. The first scene was great, and then after that, I was, like, not feeling it. Like, the entertainment factor of them isn't that great. That being said, it might be someone else's cup of tea. Maybe it's not mine. In both of the books, they mention past traumas. And I'm not saying that I need them to go into depth about the past traumas. I understand how that can be triggering for some. Maybe she did it on purpose, like, not, like, telling us, giving us tidbits, giving us a little bit of information. Basically, the title of an email, the subject of an email with no body, nothing. We get no information on any of, like, the previous traumas. I'm just saying maybe going a little bit more into depth about what had happened might give us more context as to why they act the way that they do. It is a graphic book when it comes to the murders and stuff like that. I would understand wanting to leave that out for triggering purposes for the audience, but at the same time, with triggers in mind, you already have graphic detail about everything else that's going on in the book. We don't need graphic detail about this. We just need important contextual information about what is happening so that we can build more understanding on these characters. So that was my only, like, qualm regarding the past traumas. I really did enjoy Butcher and Blackbird. That romance was, in my opinion, I like that romance a lot better than Leather and Lark. I'm not saying that Leather and Lark was a bad book by any means. I thought it was great. It was less gory than Butcher and Blackbird. I will say, honestly, I kind of like that. I kind of like that it wasn't as gory. Not that I, like, minded the gore in Butcher and Blackbird. It wasn't horrible for me. If you don't like gore, if you are not a gory person, if you can't watch horror movies that have too much blood and, like, killing and gore and stuff like that, don't read the series. Don't do it. Your peace of mind. Don't do it. It was funny. I thoroughly enjoyed the banter and the humor within the books. Overall, I really did enjoy these books, and I am looking forward to the third book coming out. I also really enjoy doing series reading vlogs. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I think maybe when it does come out, I will do a reading vlog on it so that we can talk about it and compare, see what we like and we don't like. I also really enjoy doing series reading vlogs. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!